Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, welcome to the madness. We've done half an hour with that. We're just sitting here talking to each other. We're not going to go back and cover every topic that we had talked about before we hit the go live button. Um, but remember, it's daylight savings time. You get that instant extra hour, even though we're not going to record it. Um, Thank you, Kiri.
I wondered
Uh,
why Bladed wasn't saying anything about the tea.
Yeah, same.
and I actually even sent him the link. Um, Shit.
Oh,
Well, I know exactly what caused it. It while I was playing the theme music, which is not going to come out on the recording, I had to go around down the hall urgently because I was having too much fun in stupid o'clock to excuse myself and leave the room. So, uh,
And I jumped in midstream, or what I thought was midstream, because I clicked
yeah,
on the wrong link to begin with.
it's all right. It's not like we're getting paid to do this correctly.
no, there's just three people who stream multiple times a week, and none of us noticed it still said scheduled instead of live up in the top corner.
Well,
Oh,
StreamYard doesn't make it any easier with having two stages of go live.
yeah.
It'll be all right. I mean, it's not like my millions of fans are going to write me complaints.
No, but when Carl watches this on rerun, he's gonna have a ball with it.
That's all right. We explained exactly how I screwed up. Um, uh, and it's not even going to be a learning experience because I will
We'll
I
do it
will
again.
I will forget to hit the right buttons several times in the future, and you know what? I don't care. I'm getting to spend time with my friends, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience to my other friends that aren't actually in the broadcast. But when you're having this much fun,
So
running
LMS
down,
is extra short tonight.
oh,
You got a message from Atomic Snack Bar.
yeah, sure I do, sure I do. Let me. I've already got the thing in the
Unlike Don earlier tonight, we are not stuffed.
No, we got plenty of room, and oh, those
For
are
you,
the right
Rob,
buttons.
anytime.
There we go, and Chris is
It's,
here too. Did you come and tell us that we forgot to hit the go live button?
No,
Ah,
I was gonna say something to Joe, but they talk rocket ships too much, and you know they'll have to wait another time.
yeah. There's that other topic that I would really like to know how that turns out and why that topic arose, but
yes.
it's not something we can cover here. So,
Mm.
Someone
so
did a naughty.
uh, Rob,
Yeah,
you've got the link there in your private chat. So
come on, Rob.
unless I sent it to the wrong person, no, I sent it to the right person. Um, I, I wouldn't have doubted it. I mean, I sent the link to Thesis, and he never said anything else. So I thought for a minute
Well,
there,
he's watching, but you can come in too, Thesis.
Well, he was watching as of 12:03. Half hour later is when we found out we weren't broadcasting.
Uh,
yep, we did the first 30 minutes without hitting the go live. Um,
so
and
I came in after
that's
you finally did go live.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, It's
just
entirely
in the nick of time.
it's entirely on me. I should pay attention to these details, but I'm having fun, and
I'm just a pretty face. I just show up and look pretty. Granted, I fuck that up all the time, but
oh well. Now that the lodge is tiled and the meeting is gavelled in, folks, if you're watching this and you don't know what this show is, or you don't know why this show is, check your meds. I have no idea why anybody would. I got no idea why anybody would be watching this that didn't already know what we were.
welcome to Who's On First, the modern edition. Who's On First had a love child with whose line is it anyway?
No, I don't think we're that hysterical, but Stupid Clock certainly was.
It depends.
No,
on
but our topics are made up and yeah, the points are meaningless.
Yeah, really. Who wins? The audience that doesn't tune in.
Who wins? Anyone who enjoys this. Who loses? Everyone else.
That's a good way to put it. I like that. Not going to steal it, but I like that.
Well,
you do not have to steal that which is freely given, my friend.
Oh,
this is true. Keep an eye out. He should be here soon. He's setting up as we speak.
Yep. That'll be fine. That'll be absolutely fine. It's not like we have a given topic.
Have you heard anything from Thessaly?
I have not heard anything from Thessaly, although I did see that she was posting on Facebook this week. Okay. I think the last thing I saw was she was posting a photograph of her cat. And it's mostly a black cat, but it has orange streaks in its fur.
That sounds cool.
The cat looks like it's cool.
Very relaxed
pose.
So kind of a black tortoise.
Well, if they're hanging out with Thessaly, the cat is cool.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Of course.
I mean, seriously.
Thessaly
is cool.
Exactly.
I mean, how many intelligent, witty, clever, creative, cat-loving, and violin-playing people do you know?
I can think of one. Hey, Josh. Sounds like Josh's cat too. Yep.
Josh, if your cat got any more laid back, it forget how to breathe.
I'm surprised this is actually transmitting to Facebook.
I'm not.
Because of how late we were, this Facebook should have canceled the feed, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, if we'd have went over an hour, it might have, but, only 30 minutes. Facebook realizes shit happens.
Especially after last week.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that. But we will, Facebook. We will.
I can't comment on the past 2 weeks because I've been traveling, so Saturday nights was, if I got to say hi, I was doing good.
Well, Rob is with us now, but he is on voice only.
Yes, I'm voice only this evening.
That's quite all right. I'm trying to talk my wife into that for
Green Room.
Friday nights on the Green Room. she's very self-conscious about being on camera.
So
my
is Miss
setup
why.
is just really setup intensive. So it's like, just don't even want to deal with it most of the time.
All I got to do is remember to hit the right buttons and stuff comes on. But and
Oh man.
charge the headset. Oh Lord.
But I have lighting and all that kind of stuff. It takes a minute.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm about to send something in the link chat that I hope you can figure out how to share because this is freaking awesome.
What?
Oh,
have
in the
you
link chat.
got?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to be here. I was waiting Stupid O'Clock out because Stupid O'Clock's a little fast and hip for me. Last Man Standing's more my speed.
I thank you for that, but I recommend tonight's Stupid O'Clock. We got very, very, very close to being green room.
Yeah, it got a little body tonight.
Oh, Chris.
I'm sorry, the redneck in me just loves that, and the geek in me, it's perfect measure blending of both worlds.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Oh Lord. Now I want to see that movie, even though it's impossible.
Someone needs to Photoshop Jackie Gleason as a Klingon now. Oh Lord!
I'm glad you thought of that because my brain would have just went spring. Oh heavens! Yeah, Josh, trying to talk your wife into coming on some of the shows with audio only. Yeah, I can understand. Glad to have you with us tonight.
She has no reason to be ashamed of being on camera.
What, Lindsay? No.
I'm talking about Josh's wife.
Yeah, you're Josh's wife too. Seriously, from what I've seen, Misty didn't have any reason to be camera shy either.
I concur wholeheartedly.
All of y'all have very nice significant others / wives.
Well, I would imagine for the normal person, it'd almost be something akin to stage fright doing something like this.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And the only reason we're so good at it is, despite the fact that I forget,
we give zero fucks.
Yeah,
I would say,
despite the fact I forget to hit the buttons to get everything started. We've been doing this for several years now, so
yeah, I'm not exactly the most renowned public speaker around.
I have the courage to prove it.
Yep.
But I'm amazed that I am so comfortable being on camera and being recorded now. I think I proved that with the video about composing the song. It's like, okay, that didn't work. Let me hit the edit.
Did you see me post about the cowbell and Yes is Owner of a Lonely Heart?
No, I didn't. Oh, I've got to start looking at the Stupid O'Clock page, Facebook page.
Well, this was on my personal page.
Oh, on your? No, I did not. But I probably got an alert for it that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I cannot hear a cowbell now without hearing Christopher Walken in my head.
Of course.
Of course. That's just one of those givens.
The Saturday Night Live skit with Blue Oyster Cult with Will Ferrell playing the cowbell.
Yeah. That
You know,
was
I generally don't care for the cowbell in music, but I love that song.
Well, there's two other famous songs I can think of with cowbell in them. Rolling Stones' "Honky Tonk Women."
Yeah.
And Loverboy's "Working for the Weekend."
Oh, that's a good one too, though. You're right.
Yep.
That
Starts
was
off
not.
with cowbell. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. There's another one. I can't remember who did it. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch.
Oh, is that Mountain or is that T-Rex?
Oh no, it's Nazareth, Hair of the Dog.
Nazareth.
Okay, yeah. There you go. That's why I couldn't think of it.
T-Rex. What am I talking about?
Oh, T-Rex went everywhere.
Bang and Go and Get It On probably had cowbell in it.
Probably. If it doesn't, it will now. Okay. Josh says he started out with weather podcasts and some political casts before he joined us. So yeah, it's just a matter of increasing the size of your comfort zone, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's also, if it's something that you're into or you know about, you feel more comfortable in joining in, or if it's something you learn about over time and then you're like, hey, I don't mind joining this discussion. I feel like I can add to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes even the ones that don't think they have anything to add to the conversation to bring a lot to it.
But yeah, indeed. I used to be really shy about commenting on somebody else's videos. And if I hadn't gotten over that, I'd have never got to know Rob.
That is true. I remember the first one you ever commented on too. It was the Hawk the Slayer. Was what it was one of the Sword and Sorcery videos.
Yeah, that's the god awful movie that got me started writing, because it was the middle of a blizzard in Athens, and I was snowed in with a bunch of friends, and there's only so many games of Risk you can play.
Yep.
Before tempers start to flare. And we watched Hawk the Slayer, and I kept going, oh, this is god awful. Jack Palance is cueing scenery up one side, across the ceiling, and down the next wall. And one of my best friends just looked me straight in the eye and says, "You write better. I challenge you." So I started on the career that has become my career.
But if Jack Palance didn't chew the scene, you'd be disappointed.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because that's Jack
Jack Palance.
That's his style. It'd be like if Frank Gorshin didn't do impressions, you know. Although in the '66 Batman, I do believe that. And now I blanked on the name. Somebody
John
help me
Aston.
out. John Aston, thank you. I think John Aston was a more menacing Riddler.
Nuanced.
You would actually think that John Aston's Riddler would murder people. Whereas you didn't get that feel from Gorshin. Although Invasion of the Saucer Men, that's a good movie. And Gorshin is in that.
I have one for that coming up.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I actually got to sit down and watch the entire thing, and I thought, this is not cheesy. This is actually a decent movie.
And the scene where he fights the alien fights the cow, that's brutal.
Oh
and
yeah.
gory for a 50s movie. I was actually shocked at the amount of gore in that scene.
Well, and well, spoilers for a movie made in black and white in the 50s. The realization that the aliens were the reason the cow was drunk, not the kids on Lover's Lane giving the cow beer. They were actually injecting alcohol into their victims.
Mhm.
And that was one of those. That was one of the things where I noticed the foreshadowing. Where in a lot of other movies of the era, I never noticed that kind of foreshadowing. That was a nice detail.
What I watched again last week, The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Have you ever seen that one?
I think I have. Refresh my memory, please.
It's the one where it's this kind of shady scientist or shady surgeon. His wife and he are in an automobile accident, and he manages to save her head. And so he's out searching for a new body for her head. But it's really got this kind of sleazy for the time, smoky bar filled kind of got a different vibe for the time. I mean, it feels like you're just watching something sleazy. Definitely recommend.
That was on our movie list last year, Dan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I want to say that one used to hit Svengoolie a lot.
And it was interesting to me when I saw the Invaders from Mars movie, or no, Mars Attacks movie. Excuse me. Let me get the titles right. They actually borrowed that trope and shoved it in there.
Yeah, you're right.
Had to use a shoehorn, but they made it fit.
Hey, Joe
And yet-
Dog. Ever
Hello, who was that?
never mentioned.
That's Rob.
That's Atomic Snack Bar.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, sir.
Good to meet you.
I'm just in here for a minute or two just to aggravate Dan.
You're gonna have to work harder.
Dan.
I'm retired now.
He was a little late in getting the live stream started, but he did get it going.
Hey, doesn't matter.
Better late than never.
Yep. Rob, did you ever watch the movie Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat?
That's what Bruce Campbell, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that one once. Yeah.
Him, David Carradine, Maxwell Caulfield, a whole bunch of famous character actors from the 60s and 70s.
I'm trying to find a movie that I saw when I was a kid. It was on we didn't have Svengoolie, we had Shock Theater.
Hey, I remember Shock Theater.
Mhm.
And it's about this. It was like French Revolution. They cut this guy's head off, but his head didn't die. They carried him around, his head around in the box, and they'd grab him by the hair and pick him up, and his mouth would move, and people would fall under his spell.
Are you sure that was a movie? Because that was Dark Shadow. That exact thing happened in Dark Shadows. It was a big plot line.
No, it was a black and white movie,
Okay.
and it was late night.
Okay.
Well, Dark Shadows did start off in black and white.
I thought it started off late night too.
No, this was well past my bedtime, late night
Okay.
on Saturday.
It sounds like a Roger Corman movie just from the description, but hey, Roger Corman did a lot of movies.
Yes,
Black
he
and
did.
white and cheesy. Just that sounds like a Roger Corman movie.
Hey, you made a career out of it.
Yeah, I read his book over this last summer. Quite good.
Oh, good. I'll have to look that up too. Oh, and
And I
thank
like
you
he does not
for
sugarcoat things. Like he lets you know he's cheap and he's proud of it.
hey, he's been able to turn it into an
That's how he
empire
made money.
pretty
He's been
much.
able to make it turn into some nice profit.
Yeah.
Have any of y'all ever seen his version of the Fantastic Four movie?
I haven't.
It's
Is that the one with Jay Underwood as Human Torch?
I could not tell you who the actors and actress is. All I know, it was Roger Corman. He did the entire movie. It was shelved for decades until
Okay, so
somebody
yeah, it's the one that was made in the '80s, and they just made it so that they can keep the rights, so that they could say that they could make that they made it.
exactly, and it's not that bad.
I like the look of the thing. I like that costume.
Yeah, well, that was the weakest point of the entire thing was the effects because let's face it, uh,
Roger Corman, and they weren't pumping much money into it anyway because it was just going on in the can.
I think what was it? It seemed like an 8-day shoot for the entire movie. Something that he was prone to do, uh, and then complained about the extra 5 days that it took. Uh, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I wouldn't put it up there with the two that got released. Mm,
Boxes.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but then again, I really enjoy the actor with the Welsh name I can't pronounce who was playing Mr. Fantastic. He has
Ian
a
something or other.
Griffith or whatever. Pronounce Griffith Welsh, and you probably got the right one. Um, he had a one season TV series. Um, what was the name of that?
Oh, that was the one where he kept dying and waking up in the Hudson River.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Uh, so I was familiar with him from that series, and I go, this guy can actually carry a part. I mean, he's doing historical flashbacks as well as modern day stuff, and there are differences and different nuances in the accents and um, mannerisms and whatnot, and it's still the guy can act. Um,
It felt pretty natural, yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed it quite a lot, and the major villain was one of the regulars on Torchwood,
Hmm.
which I didn't even catch on until the last like 2 episodes or whatnot.
Talking about Doctor Doom, the guy who played Doctor Doom, or
No, this was
The guy that played Reed in the Fox movies.
yeah, this was I'm talking about the TV series that Ian had done. Um,
Horatio Hornblower.
yeah, well, same actor, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now
I
this was
like that version too.
this
Chris
was
Evans was interesting, as Human Torch.
Yes.
should I used to like those Hulk movies in the '90s
Oh,
that they
God.
started
yeah.
making?
Lou Ferrigno's
Yeah.
a dick.
Well, yeah, you got personal experience with him to
Yes.
prove that,
The
and
Eric Allen Kramer's Thor paired up with him,
hmm,
That was my favorite one as a youngin.
I liked that one and the one with Daredevil.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
too.
Hulk on
Yeah.
trial.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I really
Rick
liked Eric
Smith
Allen
is
Kramer as a kid too.
Matt Murdock. Yeah, that was good.
You know, that
Yeah.
Eric Allen Kramer, you know, he was in, what was it, True Romance? I remember seeing him that. He was quite good.
Man, he was in so many things. One of my favorite things was a made-for-cable movie called The Boys of Summer.
Okay.
Joe Mantegna is a manager that gets fired from every Major League Baseball team, so he's got one last chance. He has to coach the Russian or Soviet Union baseball team for the upcoming Olympics.
Mm.
Eric Allen Kramer's the first baseman and former hockey player. Oh, it's awesome in that.
He also was in a
also-
couple of sitcoms in the 90s, wasn't he?
He was,
Yes.
yeah.
And he was also in a sword and sorcery movie in the late 80s, I think.
I'm impressed you knew that. Yes, the fourth Ator movie.
Yeah. Oh, Eric Allen Kramer is one of my favorite big guys that acts. And he's actually got a little bit of acting ability. He's not
Right.
one of those big guys that can't act.
All right, I'm gonna jump out of here because I'm gonna watch some videos how to run my new printer.
Okay.
So that way when I get it here, I can really set it up and go.
All right.
Yeah, make sure that you also watch videos on how to work with your slicer too,
Okay. All right.
because that's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes too. And I think the one that behaves with yours is
Cura.
Yeah, because I'd actually downloaded that so I could try kicking some stuff over there to make sure that
It would work.
things will work for your build plate. Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about 3D printer. I'm caught up now.
Where is Rod from?
Where's Rob from?
Yeah. Atomic.
Oh, originally or now?
Now.
Florida.
Oh, okay. Guys, talk him into coming up and hanging out with us in October.
Was that the next con?
Yeah,
Next Hallowcon.
Halloween weekend.
Right before
Weekend before Halloween.
I don't like the drive. That's the only problem.
Yeah. I understand that.
I mean, I keep getting Dan to get his teleporter fixed, but he's, just fooling around, won't do it.
And, we actually include all your meals all weekend. And Wobble Pop. All the Wobble Pop you can drink.
And what is Wobble Pop? I know not this.
Adult beverages.
I'd like to. I really would.
All right, guys. I'm going to jump out of here.
Yeah.
Later, Joe Dog.
Nice Joe Dog.
So, Rich, you say work on Cura?
Yeah, definitely, check out Kira. You can download it beforehand. You might end up with a more updated version with what you've got. But at least, you can get in there, start poking around, see how it looks, see how it feels, and get the general idea of things before. And, you can, well, actually, you've got STLs. So you can sit there and you can muck about with them and resize them, rescale them, and stuff like that to really get your feel for them. So that that was the biggest pain in the butt of getting that going, was figuring out how exactly is this going to go, how does exactly is the size, things like that. So,
all right. Well, y'all have fun. I will see y'all Thursday night.
Okay.
Have a good one.
And Dan, if you're awake on Thursday morning, I'm going to try to cover the launch.
I can't promise anything.
I know. All right. We'll holler at y'all later.
and let us know about the update about what popped up in group chat so that we know the fours and Ys.
Yeah, it's
I can tell you that in private
yeah,
after the broadcast.
yeah, yeah. All right, I'll holler at y'all later.
Alrighty.
All
Later,
right,
brother. Be safe.
all right.
Bye bye.
Yes, I want to leave the studio.
So Hallowcon, that's Atlanta, right?
No, it's in
Uh,
Dalton, actually.
it's
It's where?
north of Atlanta. It's almost all the way to Chattanooga.
Yep.
What's the city? I was map questing. I'm curious. The
Dalton. We're right off I-75. We're about 30 minutes south of Chattanooga.
Dalton, Georgia. And it's an inexpensive hotel, but they treat us really, really well. And
Yeah, I'm coming down
Oh, yeah.
from Northwest Indiana. Joe Bachman here might be able to make it from Northwest Indiana as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's close to 8 hours for me. That's a
Yeah.
little much for this
I
not
will-
so young whippersnapper.
I will tell you another option if you so choose to do it. If you can fly to Canada, there's a company called Groom Transportation.
Oh yeah, I know Groom. Yeah.
They run a shuttle from Atlanta to Eastridge, which is just over the state line in Tennessee. And
they can drop you off in Dalton.
Yep.
Right at the hotel, probably.
Maybe, or if not, have somebody pick him up from Eastridge, which it's not that far of a drive.
No, not at all. But it would be great. It would be great to see you at the con, Rob. Yeah. That would be fantastic to meet you.
We would enjoy having you there.
That would be quite neat.
And you could even go into the little cafeteria thing in the hotel and critique Joe Dog's choice of cheesy movies.
And then you could actually witness that discussion that you've been wanting to see oh so often about him and Skunk in the meeting of the minds of old sci-fi horror.
Yeah, that would be something for a panel, actually, is get Skunk and Rob together talking movies.
And, you know, my book should be out by then, so I don't know, maybe.
Hey, I'll be selling books there if I've got any in stock, and lots of other people will too. Don't know why I stalled out there, but you know, 7 different thoughts going off in my head at one time, and none of them actually managing to spark a single brain cell. So, moving on that basis, to quote George Carlin, I wanted to thank you for cluing me into that Lee Van Cleef Kung Fu Western. I managed to watch about a half an hour of it before I went to bed, and I've got it bookmarked so I can go back and watch the rest of it. But that's absolutely classic.
Oh, you know, he had a real knack for comedy. It's a shame that he didn't get to do more, because I mean he did it well, and it looked like he was having fun.
Yeah, that's what I could see right there was it being my discovering it too late at night and not being able to sit through the whole thing. That I was really sad about, but I will be able to sit through it later on. It's just I've got too many irons in the fire right now that I'm having to worry about with getting my wife a new car and all this other stuff. So as soon as that's out of the way, I'll be trying to avoid doing home repairs, so I'll be able to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
You can tell my wife never watches the reruns of the show.
What? Because you still have a wife? Is that what you're saying?
Because I'm trying to avoid doing the household repairs that she needs. Ah.
Yeah, I watched another good one week before last called The Big Gun Down, another Lee Van Cleef spaghetti western. Quite good as well.
Well, if you're talking spaghetti westerns, did you ever see any of them with Terrence Hill in them?
The Trinity movies?
Yes.
I saw edited versions of those when I was younger, and I'm going, there's got to be more to this. And I think I managed to see an unedited version of at least the first one.
Well, there's another hilarious movie where he's a cop that inherits superpowers or acquires superpowers called Super Fuzz. It's got him and Ernest Borgnine in it. It is. Oh, it's a guilty pleasure.
That was one of my favorite movies when I was a small kid. I'm probably even before I started school, even, but that one was on a lot in my house. And yeah, I loved that one.
It sounds quite entertaining.
Oh, my gosh. Such fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since then. So, decades ago, but I still remember how much I liked it.
Yeah, I've got to say my introduction to Ernest Borgnine was McHale's Navy.
Same.
And wasn't it Tim Conway in that one too?
I don't know.
Ensign Parker?
Yeah, the lovable goof up. Yeah.
I was getting it, and
part of my brain wants to say yes, but part of my brain wants to say no.
I was getting it and Sergeant Bilko mixed up.
Hey, yeah. Phil Silver's definitely one of the folks that had the best comedic timing for a sitcom actor.
He was awesome.
You know, I learned a lot from a couple of his appearances on Johnny Carson, because I was addicted to Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show, as a child. And when Johnny retired, I pretty much gave up late night TV chat shows.
That's fair.
Everybody quite like him.
The only one that would come close, probably Arsenio Hall, as far as the stand up in front of the show. And then, but Carson had it nailed as an interviewer. I mean, he had a way of talking with the guests that got them to come out of their shell and open up and everything. That was great. But then you got to remember, I grew up with Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin having a variety show.
Well, people trusted Johnny.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of his appeal and why he could get people to them.
Yep. Hello,
so
Matt.
Have you guys heard about the horror movie that is coming out that gives very Johnny Carson type of vibes? And I'm trying to remember the title of the film off the top of my head right now. Stephen King and Kevin Smith are giving it rave reviews.
That's pretty good.
And basically, it's a talk show host. It's late night TV. Late Night with the Devil. I think that's the name of the book or the movie. Late Night with the Devil, I think. Where they're trying to, he's coming back from a major personal tragedy and stuff like that, and they're trying to get the ratings back up. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring on a child that's allegedly possessed and, go through an interview and stuff like that. And things do not go the way that the talk show, producers and everyone thinks it's going to go.
Well, anytime Stephen King's involved, there's
yes, I don't believe Stephen King had any part in writing or anything about it, but I believe he was shown part of it, and also so was Kevin Smith, and they're just giving rave reviews like, this is the cat's meow.
Yeah, but I mean, you give Kevin Smith a quarter and he'll give something a rave review. You can't really trust that one.
Did y'all ever see The King of Comedy?
It sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
That was a movie that was loosely based on the Tonight Show. It wasn't exact, like I said. It was loosely based on it, and it had Andy Griffith in it, and I want to say Jerry Lewis, but I'm not positive. And it's one of the deals where the guest eventually becomes a host on the show and becomes really popular. And, he gets, soaring reviews and goes on to great heights, and then he falls.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was looking here. It says it stars De Niro.
Yeah, De Niro. I knew it was some dark-haired actor, performer. I just couldn't remember who.
I do believe I've heard of it, but I don't believe I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like something I would remember if I had.
Yeah.
You mentioned Arsenio. I was a big fan of Arsenio as a lad myself.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I look forward to the John B. Williams poetry moments in that theme song.
Well, I always liked with Arsenio was he would get, the big talk show guys got all the big guests, but he would get some mid-level people. And so there's often like metal bands and stuff. Like I remember Anthrax performed on Arsenio. Probably wouldn't have seen Anthrax on like Johnny Carson or whatever. So, I always dug that aspect of it.
Yeah, and I liked the fact that Giant was performing on there.
Carson had the Avengers level folks, and Arsenio had the street level heroes.
There you go.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And I will always remember there were two nights in late night talk shows that I will always remember. One of them was Alice Cooper on the Tonight Show when the Lace and Whiskey album was needing to be promoted, and he came on and did I do believe it was the title track Lace and Whiskey. And then another one was when Arsenio did Chunky A. And I went, holy shit, this is good. So I have bookmarked that video. And I have dug up the Tonight Show performance with Alice Cooper too, because I am a a big fan of Alice's. And
You ever seen
I
Monster
have
Dog?
the Chunky A CD at home.
yeah,
Sorry, what did you say, Rob?
You ever seen Monster Dog?
can't say that I have.
Yeah, that's one of his few starring roles. It was an Italian movie he made, and it's actually pretty good, but it gets a bad reputation because it's dubbed. And I think that kind of throws people that it's not his voice coming out of him. It's a strange dubbed voice, but it's a pretty good movie if you like that sort of thing.
I did see him on. I do believe it was a '70s mystery show. Um, and the sleuths were two elderly ladies, and Alice just kind of guest starred in this. And then when it came to the wrap up of who all the actual villains were, Alice was conspicuously absent, but he did perform sick things on national television
Mm.
on this mystery show. And just the ease that he had speaking the scripted lines when he wasn't singing. It didn't last very long at all. I mean, most of his was to have the song in the TV show, and then say a few things, and then go home and count his money. Um, it's about like I saw at least one show where Paul Williams came on during um, promotion for Phantom of the Paradise, and
Another great cheesy movie.
oh, I love that movie. I really love. I mean, I love that movie on the same level I love Rocky Horror Picture Show and Shock Troops.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that was. I'm very glad I have those memories. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Well, you know, that
There
could-
is a
oh, go ahead.
there's a good movie. It's kind of cheesy, funny, but it's got all kinds of iconic people from the 60s and 70s and 80s. There's a movie
Murder by
called
Death.
of 76. It's got
Okay.
oh good grief.
Sean
The-
Cassidy.
Yeah. And it's
Oh.
got Olivia Diabo in it. And they're from the future, and America has lost its way. So they're trying to
Wait, was it Sean or David?
it was David Cassidy. Yeah, it was David Cassidy. And
One of the brothers.
Yeah. So they were the older of the two, one in the Partridge Family.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got this time machine, so they're going to go back in time and kind of get some pointers and help and culture from back when America was great. Well, they were supposed to go back to 1776. They wound up going back to 1976.
Oh, just in time to watch them on the reruns.
Oh man, it was good, but it was cheesy good.
Oh, do you remember the original TV series of The Flash? David Cassidy was on that as a very, very effective villain, Mirror Master. And I thought, I'm surprised they didn't rename him Hologram Sam and turn it into some kind of a T-Rex themed villain, because the actual villain's character's name was Sam, and Mirror Master used little discs that would create holograms. And I thought, oh, that's the way my brain works. That would just be a logical jump for me. But
Liked his costume in that one.
yeah,
Well, Flash, that is.
I like the entire series. Actually, I was very sad that it ended so quickly after just one season, but it was nice seeing that the actor come back and play the same version of the character in the CW Flash show. That oh God, I got disgusted with all the repeated adverts trying to watch it on the computer, so I missed the last season or season and a half.
Well, the complete Flash is on DVD at Walmart.
And apparently, according to YouTube, it's going to get a reboot with Grant coming back in the part. But then again, this is YouTube. I can't take it as fact.
Yeah.
No matter what people want me to believe, I gotta wait and see.
I saw the biggest TV series DVD collection ever in one package today or Saturday. They had the entire series of Gunsmoke for $199.99.
Oh, geez.
How many episodes is that?
Wow.
25 seasons, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a long-running show on television.
If you count the radio episodes as well as the TV episodes, Gunsmoke is the only show that's been on as long or longer continuously than Doctor Who.
Dark Shadows has a pretty massive box set itself. If you ever seen that one, the big coffin.
Yeah, I've got several hundred episodes of Dark Shadows from back when it might have been illegal, but it wasn't immoral to torrent things. Never got the complete set, but can't do that nowadays because there's too many viruses out there. And it's
Before
no
I
longer
forget,
even moral.
I've got to mention one of my favorite David Cassidy moments ever. I'm dating myself because it was the MTV Video Music Awards. He was up there as a presenter, and he just all of a sudden just started breaking out into the Partridge "Come On Get Happy" song. And the crowd got in it and was joining in with him.
Of course. I wouldn't be a bit surprised for that to turn into a sing-along.
I had to mention that while I was thinking about it because I would have forgot it if I'd waited too much longer.
That's all right. That's all right. I understand those moments. Mac of all trades is going Love Rocky Horror. Another good one from the 80s was Repo Man. And for a second there, I thought he was talking about Repo the Genetic Opera. And I know those are two different things, but wires got crossed.
Yeah. John Wetton.
Same cheesy vein, though,
Yeah.
Yeah, John Wetton probably took 2 decades off his life from all his heavy drinking.
Okay, yeah. I
was looking at Mac of all trades comments about.
I was looking at the same time you were reading it. So, odd piece of obscure trivia. The band Asia recorded a song called "Praying for a Miracle" in 1990. Their lead singer John Wetton wrote with David Cassidy. They were both raging alcoholics. The song was basically about hitting rock bottom, but written by two guys who hadn't punched through all the sub-basement floors yet. Yeah. And let's see. Probably Witten was 67 and his mom was still living. So, okay.
Wetton
Yeah.
was how I got introduced to King Crimson because I was a fan.
My sweet summer child. I got into King Crimson by having been introduced to Brian Eno and Robert Fripp, and they're teaming up for several projects, but most notably Eno's 4 or 5 albums from that period.
Yeah,
So
but
when
that was how I got down the King Crimson rabbit hole, was through John Wetton. I'm like, oh, he was in King Crimson? I need to check them out.
Yeah, I would recommend Crimson to anybody, especially if you like intricate. I wouldn't say alternative, but
I would say they're one of the cornerstones of progressive rock.
Yeah, that one I will not argue that at all.
They were alternative when alternative really was an alternative.
They were alternative before alternative existed.
Yeah,
exactly.
Another thing is, before Asia reformed, John Wetton and Jeff Downs did a project called Icon, which they did several albums.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was spelled IKON instead of ICON.
Mm.
Funnily enough, I actually first heard of King Crimson because of Stephen King, the Dark Tower books. That was my first kind of exposure to them.
Yeah.
Oh, I highly recommend them. At any stage in their career, you will find things that you are not particularly fond of, but there's usually at least 3 songs on every album that will stick in your mind. Not in a bad earworm way, but in, oh, this is nice. I mean, Greg Lake was their lead singer for a while. Is basically, I heard somebody joke, and somebody from the band joke that, every 2 or 3 years, Robert Fripp wants to record another King Crimson album, and everybody in the band comes running to see if they got something to do.
Okay, fellas, let's get a little controversial here for a moment.
Okay.
Bon Scott or Brian Johnson?
Depends on the song.
Yeah,
that's a good answer.
It really, big balls, no contest, Bon Scott.
Yeah. Back in Black, Brian Johnson all the way.
Shook Me All Night Long. Who Made Who? Then again, I believe those were recorded after. So, but I mean, it's depending on the era. I mean, depends on which icon of AC/DC you really need to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, Desert Island. You can only take one of them with you.
Yeah,
I'd have to go with Brian.
As would I.
Simply because I wouldn't have to worry about waking him up to make sure that he didn't asphyxiate.
Well, I meant the music, not necessarily the artist.
I know,
fair
but
enough.
I'm reminded of a friend of mine who now lives many more miles away than he used to, And he goes, same dude, didn't matter. Same dude, same voice. Now I'm going.
The guy that they got to replace Brian, I feel sounds damn near exactly like him.
And I was not that as intense a fan of AC/DC. So when their first singer passed away and they got the new singer in, I was not sophisticated enough to be able to tell the difference.
AC/DC is the reason why I got so many stops in high school. Because their music would come on and suddenly the Impala's doing 140. I have no idea how.
This is why I put a disclaimer on my first 2 albums. I am not responsible for your speeding tickets.
Yeah, I was.
I wrote those things at 140 to 180 beats per minute, so they make you want to put your foot down. And there are a lot of bands that have used the same trick.
Although the Top Gun anthem and Danger Zone is the reason why I had to replace so many transmissions, because I just drove the car damn near at redline the entire time that those were playing.
Thunderstruck was always a pedal pusher for me.
Have you seen the video of somebody on a unicycle playing Thunderstruck on bagpipes that are also flamethrowers?
While wearing a Darth Vader helmet and a kilt.
Yes, I had forgotten those details.
Keep Portland weird.
Oh my god!
Although I'm wondering whether it's Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon.
Slade, interestingly enough, probably made more money from Quiet Riot's covers.
Yeah.
And Def Leppard's homage to them, Rocket. Because Rocket had a lot of scenes of Slade in the video.
Yeah, in high school, I replaced 3 cassettes of AC/DC. High Voltage, Back in Black, and I think it was Fly on the Wall.
Yeah.
I listened to them so much that I actually wore the tapes out.
Well, Rich, there's this great documentary. It's something like My Stupid Cover Band, or This Is My Stupid Cover Band, something about a stupid cover band. But it's about, I guess, the country's most popular AC/DC cover band. It's quite good. It's on Tubi. I recommend checking that out.
It's called what?
It's something, let me look it up. It's something about a stupid cover band.
Oh, you talking about Hey See Dixie?
No, he's talking about a documentary.
They've done covers of AC/DC songs. They're called.
This is a fully AC/DC tribute band.
My brain immediately goes to Jackal.
Oh, sorry, it's My Stupid Tribute Band.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a documentary. It's on Tubi right now. Or at least last time I checked. It's quite good. And it got to the point where they're so recognized as like the best AC/DC cover band that when Brian Johnson was out or leaving or whatnot, they actually brought this guy and auditioned him, like the singer for this band. And he got pretty close to actually taking Brian Johnson's place.
Well, Brian Johnson's back with the band now.
Right.
Yeah, but I cried when I heard the news about Angus passing. My wife literally had to console me. It
was Malcolm. Angus is still alive.
No, Angus passed too.
Wait, did he really?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it was Malcolm because Malcolm was.
I haven't heard anything about that.
As far as I know, Angus is still alive.
Could have sworn it was Angus. I cried for nothing? Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was Malcolm, the older brother. But Malcolm was the band leader. He's the one that made sure everybody was together, and he came up with a lot of the baseline riffs. I mean, the basic riffs, not the baseline riffs. That was Clyde Williams, but
I apologize. I remembered incorrectly. I could have sworn it was Angus though.
Hey,
Then again, they're brothers, you know.
yep.
You just briefly visited an alternate universe. That's all. There were
But
no
now you can be
tears
happy
shed
that
in
Angus is
vain.
still alive.
Oh, now.
And the
Oh,
death of
damn! There was
Angus
something
Young
I was
kills
trying
the
to remember. Now
conversation.
I've totally forgotten the thread.
Mac, their drummer, sounds more like Steve Perry than Arnell does.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to Dean Castronovo sing Mother Father while playing drums. And that's a hell of a damn solo to have to perform and sing to.
Well, I mean, playing the
Really?
drums and singing to begin with is not easy.
Yeah, ask Mark Farner. Sheesh. I got impressed with Grand Funk Railroad a long time ago.
Kelly Keegi of Night Ranger.
Mm-hmm. There was another one. Oh, the Romantics. They traded singers back and forth between. I think
Even the rhythm guitar player.
the rhythm guitar. Okay, I was about to say bass guitar player, but you're right. You're right. And the drummer. The weird thing is, when I got interested in Adam Ant, I got to see the opening of the Adam Ant fronted by the Romantics tour in Atlanta.
Yep.
And then when they finished the tour, they did the same show in the same location. And there was one night, I think it was, I saw this on an Adam Ant bio where the Romantics were pranking Adam. There was one bit where he would immerse himself in a plexiglass tank full of water and then come out and sing stuff from the Strip album. Romantics put goldfish in there.
But they were good musicians.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And the thing about the Romantics, they would go from the party, you know, what I like about you, to the kind of
talking in your sleep.
Talking your sleep.
Yeah, yeah. I like bands that can cover a wide range of things.
Yeah.
My wife is of the opinion that Alice Cooper is one of the people that can write the best love songs.
Oh yeah, You and Me's one of the.
Yeah. Seriously. There's some real emotion in there. It's just the theatrical horror aspects of the stage show take up a lot of its interest to be able to do the set pieces and the dramatic, the shock scenes and things like that. People sometimes forget that there's a lot of stuff. There are a lot of different aspects to Alice's abilities and talents, and I would say the same goes for a lot of other musicians that people think are monolithic when they're actually a D20.
I can see Dr. Hook doing that.
Oh God. Oh yeah, I can see that.
Another one
Dressed,
that
dressed up
another
in
one.
disguise and open for themselves is another band. Yeah. Uh,
Here's the
the
funny
tur-
thing.
the Turtles did that. They put it out an entire album of them covering different musical styles, and I mean they poked fun at the Beach Boys and I think the Birds and a bunch of other bands that were just as popular or even more so than they were at the time. Uh,
Well, I
it
didn't
it
get to
was
see it,
hilarious.
but Joe Dog talked about how C.W. McCall would put on a show, and then they would get done with their set, change clothes, and come back as Mannheim Steamroller. Because it was essentially the same thing, but Mannheim Steamroller didn't have Bill Fries singing the lead vocals to Convoy and other songs like that.
I did not know that. Thank you.
And Steve Martin, when he does his comedy show with Martin Short, has the bluegrass band that he plays in perform before them. Well, he sings some songs with them, plays some songs
Hmm.
with them, and then they go into their set.
Yeah, I'm very glad that Steve Martin did not sideline his banjo playing for the stand-up comedy. Being able to do both is awesome, and it's just I know he's gone more seriously into music, but there's a video on YouTube, I do believe, that has him and Marty Robbins and
It's funny, Max. Steve Martin said the same thing.
uh, but it was a bunch of bluegrass singers and players that just all got together with Steve Martin to do this thing of I think it was Orange Blossom Special, and it was just amazing. Um,
There's
and
a Vince Gill song where he's got all these Grammy-winning country artists and whatnot in the video with him performing. You know, the long-haired, bearded guy that was the bass player in Phil Collins' Studio video,
mhm.
and Reba McEntire's the waitress that gets up and joins backup singers, and over in the corner you'll see him roll the camera, and Steve Martin's playing his banjo in the video.
That's astounding. You reminded me of all the people that made guest appearances in at least one Gretchen Wilson video.
Oh yeah,
I think it was Redneck Woman.
yeah,
Um,
probably.
I mean, you got Hank Williams Jr. in there, and sadly Kid Rock, because I don't like that guy very much. But I'm not going to deny his talent. I just don't like him. And several other people as well.
Well,
Um,
I'll tell you one song you might like by him. Dan, he has a duet with Bob Seger.
I'll have to look that up.
It's called
Um,
Real Mean Bottle.
okay, I'll have to look that up. I was kind of ambivalent about him until he pinched the Leonard Skinner song, and After that, I'm
Oh,
going,
don't worry, they made plenty of money from it.
oh, yeah, he made plenty of money from it.
They made
And,
plenty of money from it because he had to pay royalties.
oh, yeah, I can see that too. But no, it's just that didn't sit right with me. And especially because it combined Leonard Skinner with Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
And Warren was not openly acknowledged, even though it was so obvious. So that
yeah.
ticked me off because I'm a big Zevon fan.
Speaking of Hank, I got into Hank Sr. and I got into Hank the Third, but I never got into Hank Jr.
That's reasonable. I mean, seriously, everybody got. I mean, I grew up with. Hell, my family was actually driving by a radio station where Hank Sr. was performing on the radio station right then live. And I'm going, we're within 100 yards. I can actually see the radio tower up the hill from the grocery store that we were just coming home from. And it was, I was young enough to where that blew my mind that somebody whose name was that big was within arm's reach almost. I get the same thing at conventions where I go in and here's all these people whose books are on my shelves. And I can shake hands with them and I can have conversations with them, or I'm sitting on a panel with them. And I get treated as an equal, even though I am way down the tier from their reputations. But,
I'll tell you, one of the biggest thrills for me, Dan, was I was walking around Worldcon in 2016. Larry Niven was walking around. Wasn't nobody around him. I said, "How you doing, Mr. Niven?" and all that. And he just beamed a big smile because I guess I looked a little younger at the time. And he's like, "Hey, somebody that's under the age of 50 that knows me." But I didn't interrupt him just long enough to say hi, ask him how he's doing. He just seemed just genuinely delighted, and that made my day.
He is. I've been in the Niven mailing list for as long as I've been online.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, once a month, if Larry is feeling up to it and comes into the chat, I get a chance to talk to him. I've seen him at 2 different conventions in Chattanooga live and talked to him. Hell, I was sitting at an autograph table next to Janie Wirtz at the same table I was in.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell were at the next autograph table. Now, why was I at an autograph table when I'd only sold like 2 short stories? Didn't even have a book out. And people were bringing me copies of the convention program to autograph because there was no place they could buy my book.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have any copies there. I would have had to spend...
Probably because Uncle Timmy takes care of his guests.
Yeah, well, I mean, me and Jenny Wirtz had a wonderful time sitting there going, yeah. Niven and Purnell's autograph line is going out the vendor's suite and around the building 2 or 3 times, and somebody will come up. You've actually got stuff to sell, and your artwork is amazing. And we're just sitting there being snide and snarky with each other. And she's a wonderful person. And Pernell was getting pissed because everybody's wanting Larry's autograph and not his.
Jerry's a little more outspoken than Larry was.
Oh, you do not piss off Dr. Purnell. That is a lethal mistake right there. And sadly he's no longer with us, but I treasure those memories.
I got to see him at the last Bane Barfly room party at Dragon Con before he passed.
Mm.
So I consider myself a lucky person.
Yeah.
Rob, are you still listening?
I am. I'm here.
I was going to suggest a Hank Jr. song that is probably not what you would expect, but it's very well done.
Well, honestly, I think the only song I've ever heard by Junior is that annoying football song. I want to say that's it. So anything would probably be a good suggestion.
Well,
all my rarity friends are coming over tonight.
Well, he changed that up for the night football thing, but yeah, that's what it was based upon. Listen to his song "Blues Man."
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best ballads you will ever hear.
Okay.
I'm pretty fond of Country Boy Can Survive myself.
And Country State of Mind's really good too.
What was that song again, Chris? I'll actually bring it up on YouTube now and listen
to
it.
The Blues Man.
All right, I got it. Yeah, I'm actually quite the fan of Hank 3. I don't know if any of you have listened to his stuff, but
yeah,
quite good.
Talent ran deep in that family.
Yeah.
Dan, jumping back, that con you were talking about a minute ago, I missed it if you said what year that was, but was the zine out at that point?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that might have been then why they were wanting your autograph. Probably fans of your work on the zine and such.
It could have been. My wife pulled a good one. She walked up with a blank check for my checkbook and says, "Can I get your autograph? There's some jewelry over here I want to buy." and Jenny just like to fell out of her chair. It was one of those. I'm going. Yeah, they won't take debit cards yet, will they? Here you go. And who should I make this out to, dear? Oh, Lord. It wasn't that expensive, and it got my wife happy. So that was
a win-win situation.
Well, gentlemen, it is officially 3 a.m., so I am going to take off.
Mm-hmm. And we have run.
Last one, real fast.
Wow, you really roboted there, Rich.
Yep. All right, thanks for joining in, Mac.
Yeah, we've run an hour and a half out of the 2 hours we've actually been talking. I'm tempted to just hit the end stream and not even play the outro credits.
No. Here in Central, the real time zone of America, it's 3.
It's 4 for me.
Like I said, in Central, the real time zone. Don will back me up on that.
Well, it's actually 3 because 2 a.m. is when it swaps over in the Eastern.
Oh, the computer's already swapped over.
Yeah.
And the cell phone too, probably. I'm not
Yeah.
going to check because I don't care.
I'll run the inquiry, Stan.
All right. Well,
Go get guys.
Rob, thank you for being here. Chris,
Thanks for
Rick,
having me.
Joe. Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Hope you enjoy that song, Rob.
Pleasure to actually conversate with you instead of just listening to your voice on the Atomic Snack Bar, man.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I've listened to quite a few of these as well, even when I wasn't there to actually listen to it live. I listened to it on the rerun or the later. So
That can be entertaining at times.
Well, I mean, we do go on. We do crack jokes. And
well, I'll tell you, the first time I got really invested in it, actually, it was the first time I listened. It was the chili debate. There was a chili debate going on, and that was the first time I even commented on it too.
Yeah, I still give John grief for putting carrots in his chili. That's un-American, dude.
That's outrageous, outrageous.
Oh, my mother would write me out of the will if I did that.
He got chili and stew confused.
Yeah, well,
chili technically is a stew.
In his defense, he grew the peppers that were in it himself. He had no idea they were that strong.
God.
God, that was that hot.
And he was just looking for anything to cut the heat.
Mm-hmm. He was looking for anything that would cut the heat. Seriously.
Needed Dan's chili to help it more.
Yet there were a lot of people that were going, mine was too mild because I made it mild on purpose. And they would mix my chili and John's chili together and get it to their preferred Scoville level.
Yeah, probably 3 parts yours and 1 part his.
John, why are you pouring milk and bread into your chili? You'll know in a minute.
Really, because this dragon over here complained. And why are there hobbits running around? In any case,
I saw a dwarf over there too.
Don't toss the dwarf.
My wife was down there.
They're taking the chili to Isengard. Guard.
Good one.
That was enough to relit of Coldrake.
Hey, there wasn't a single spoonful of my chili left after that first night. I mean,
again, they had to use so much of yours to cut his.
I still get compliments on it. I swear, people remember it, and I'm going, might do it again, might not. Didn't want to really upset the Hallowcon cooking staff because they had no idea we were going to do it. It was just something John dreamed up, and Joe Dog said, "Go for it," but we got there and nobody had the slightest idea that John and I were prepared for this. So it was just one of those spontaneous things.
And we're still talking about it years later.
Yeah, really. And if John were awake right now, he'd go, "Yeah, I got a mortar for you. Just quit putting my chili down." Put C4 in it next time. It might be milder.
Maybe.
Am I going to get to hit the button or not?
Hey,
I love you guys. Man. I love you guys. And all the people that are going to be watching this later, all three of you, all my loyal fans, let's mm, go good, guys. That's all I got to say. See y'all next time I get to see you. It won't be soon enough.
Have a good one, fellas.
That goes double for you, Rob.
Thanks, sir.
Take a light all. Be safe.
Yeah.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Until next time. Go good.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.